This is interesting. This is me back right where it all began. Back in 2011, after many years of goading from some friends, and one particular friend, Andy Peters, there you go Andy, there's a shout out, I founded a little not-for-profit charity called Valley of Angels. It was because I think around 2002 I happened to be working inside Bangor Abbey here doing a bit of AV work, and I noticed a Latin inscription which really caught me, which basically when translated is Valley of Angels. So here's my last time getting to tell this story, and basically do a time team. If you can imagine where Bangor train station is, and you wipe it all out and you look down towards the sea. Allegedly, Patrick, when he was travelling with his companions, they were in that sort of area and they looked down into the sea, and together they saw what can only be described as an angelic vision, like a Jacob's ladder of angels moving up and down. And the idea was that they felt this was such a holy place that Patrick apparently said, surely this is such a thin place, a holy place, a place from where light and knowledge and wisdom and creativity will stream forth. Not long after Patrick came Comgal, and Comgal, look, you know what, you can all read about it, but it's brilliant. I just love stories. But Comgal came and he founded the Abbey, long story cut short. And then from him, one of his students was this guy here, Columbanus. And Columbanus, as many will know, he basically left here, small little boat, went across from here to Scotland, Iona, and right down through Lindisfarne, and set up what is today respected as probably those earliest monasteries leading to Christendom, right down through the British Isles, into France, and then eventually into Switzerland. Why did I tell you this? Well, look, I just got caught with a story, caught with the idea that the people who live in this land, whether you call it Ireland, Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland, I frankly don't care. All I know is that I was born here, and within me there's this creative essence, this DNA which just loves telling stories. So for one last time, I just want to take a moment to tell a little bit out of the mist of what's going forward, what's going to take place, not just in my life but in a few others who I've had the privilege of sharing the journey with. So in this little short video documentary, which isn't unlike the stuff that John and I worked on through lockdown, the Tuar platform, Tuar just another Irish word for a sense of something to come. I love the mystical, the sense of that there's something more. There is something more. So let's find out a little bit more about what is to come. This is going to be a bit of a stop-start, stop-start. You're going to hear little bits of honesty, openness from both Amanda Agnew and Sam Wickens, two folks who I've grown to know over these years, and importantly in this last video shot documentary thing, two artists who come from Bangor, which is wonderful. It's hopeful because they've got so much to give. They're so creative. I love them to bits, and I wish them every success. So without further ado, let's listen to each of them and some of their latest work before we get into asking them some questions.
Into the fog I wander on, with every step I fall, as I keep climbing higher up, till the high's not high afraid of misery. I took on all that I could bear. There's no need for company. It's been cold. I wish I'd known. These nights get awful long when you're set in stone. My silence sings so loud within, and if nothing's gonna change, I'ma let it in. As I let go of the will to fight, my body would fall beneath, and as nobody came, I would stay still that way, thinking of what could have been. My family cried as they mourned out for me. That's another one gone in their sleep. It's a problem that grew from the old to the new. Now another one's gone from our street. It's been cold. I wish I'd known. These nights get awful long when you're set in stone. My silence sings so loud within, and if nothing's gonna change, I'ma let it in. My silence sings so loud it wins, and if nothing's gonna change, I'ma let it in. And if nothing's gonna change, I'ma let it in.
I remember that on Thursday the 12th of March, and some people would get tired of me telling this, but Thursday 12th of March into Friday 13th of March 2020, I'd been to the Belfast National Festival down in Belfast, and I took a sip of Guinness and I got the tickle on the throat, and I went, oh. And on the Friday I'd gone into work and basically went through the whole motion, jokingly put my scarf around my throat and said to everybody, I'll keep my distance. I don't know if you were there, Amanda, or not.
I remember this. Yeah, I do remember this.
You know,
yeah, I do.
And I just joked. So when we finished that, went home that night, and an absolute blinder of a headache. Said to Maxine, right, I'm just going to take a couple of tablets, went to bed, and then for the next 3.5 weeks, I was schnozzled. But during that time, during that first week, because I was lying in bed, couldn't get out of bed until Thursday, I was watching the news, charting everything, and realising changes are coming here, and they're coming quick. And I suppose I was thinking, okay, this is going to have an impact upon retail, particularly, which was our world at that point in time, and we need to prepare for that. And I was thinking, panic. Well, what do you do if you can't sell? How do you keep paying your bills? And then I started hearing this new furlough thing happening. I thought, well, that might be a bit of a godsend. Anyhow, so on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd, even before Boris had made his announcement, I'd gone in, because being a Monday, that was our delivery day. And I went in, saw the guys, kept my distance again, and said, right, let's bring the delivery in when it comes in, leave it on the ground floor, not into the storeroom. And jokingly I said, I'll probably see it in June, something like that, and forget it. And that was it. That was the shop closed. And yet, bizarrely at that same point, John and I were about to start tour because we had already given thought to this. I knew of all people, Sam, were the very first person on tour. And so that was me, September 21. And I remember on 2 occasions, I think actually it was a June day of 20. I woke up one Monday morning, and before my eyes were open, I had a feeling like I've never felt before. Blackness. Never had that feeling in my life. Where I woke up feeling quite, well, I don't need to be here. There's no meaning and there's no purpose in life. And yet in my head I was wrestling because I thought, this isn't me. And yet there was this other part saying, there's no point. And I experienced a very black period, wrestling with myself in my own head for about 2.5 days. Nothing would shake this, just, I don't need to exist. And then I remember on the late Tuesday afternoon feeling something change, and I just felt, wow, you know, and it gave me a different appreciation, and particularly for the creatives, because we read all too often how quite often the creative way of doing things can lead people into places which are they're exceedingly high or they're exceedingly low, and sometimes you can struggle in both places where you're completely on a level of ecstasy when you think you're on something, or you're in the pits where you think, I can't get out of here.
You told me you could hear the sea with a shell held to my ear, and the forest flame would burn my hands if I dared to go too near. So I listened well and I turned to you, but you played hide and seek as the sun came out and you left on again without me. 'Cause honestly, you on the moon promised me we're coming soon. Don't forget to light the way for me. Scattered diamonds all around, in the sky and on the ground, just in case the sun went down on me. You moon and me. So I said goodbye as I packed the car. Yeah, I'm leaving now, and I'm headed far, as I wish upon the only star I see. All it does is twinkle back at me. 'Cause honestly, you hung the moon, promised me we're coming soon, and don't forget to light the way for me. Scattered diamonds all around, in the sky and on the ground, just in case the sun went down on me. 'Cause honestly, you hung the moon, promised me we're coming soon, and don't forget to light the way for me. Scattered diamonds all around, in the sky and on the ground, just in case the sun went down on me. You and me.
Tell us a little bit about you going into pandemic and what your experiences were and what you were feeling about the whole music scene in and around that time?
Whenever COVID came about, it was a bit of confusion. I mean, this is something we had never faced before. Never imagined could be a thing. I had gone away, as you know, to Nashville to do a recording, to do an album, and came back with all intentions of launching it and, you know, full steam ahead, and then boom, that was all just pushed aside quite dramatically. But I didn't panic in a way. Prior to COVID, I had retrained in another area, so that was kind of a lucky sort of accident in a way, and then did that, which tied me over, and it was a pleasure that to be in it. It was very, very different. It wasn't as creative as all the jobs I'd had before, and it was refreshing as well to do something different for a while and leave music aside completely. I didn't think about it, I didn't listen to it, I didn't write, I didn't play the guitar, not one bit. No gigs, obviously, no interest. And then whenever COVID cleared up a bit, it started to come flooding back in, and the interest and the desire to do it started coming back slowly but surely.
Excellent. And did you then find, okay, about the interest rebuilding again, what about your creative side in terms of then rewriting, or sorry, not rewriting, but writing new material? Did you find space to do that, or was it purely got to get out there, got to earn some money, got to do that?
It wasn't really money driven. It was being in a different job full time, coming home, having my weekends to myself again was alien
Precious.
to me. Yeah. And I got into the swing of that. It was quite addictive. Something I hadn't done for 10 years was had a full weekend off, and that's the truth. So it was nice to leave work behind, close the door, come home, and you know, that's the rest of your night. It's up to yourself how you spend it.
Can you tell what I've been feeling lately in my eyes? You won't know if I've been crying, 'cause smile a good disguise, and you hardly notice the feelings I possess. And you might not hear the butterflies thumping in my chest, but when my walls came closing in and crumbling to the ground, I'd wake up and turn to you, thinking you were still around. So if the clock stopped ticking and we lose track of time, or freeze the world for one more minute and hold your hand in mine. Yeah, you're right, we had good times, the best yet to come. And I'd take a piece of you and him and roll you into one. So when my walls came closing in and crumbling to the ground, I'd wake up and turn to you, and you'd still be around. So if the clock stopped ticking and we lose track of time, or freeze the world for one more minute and hold your hand in mine, hold your hand in mine. So if my walls came closing in and crumbling to the ground. I'd wake up and turn to you, thinking you were still around. So if the clock stopped ticking and we lose track of time, or freeze the world for one more minute and hold your hand in mine, hold your hand in mine, hold your hand in mine.
So you take that, Mike. In terms of new directions for you, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Does it feel like a fresh start? Is it feeling? And are you excited for it? And material? It feels like you just don't stop writing. I have to be honest, and you just seem to continually create.
Yeah, in a way, I didn't write for ages, and it was because I was just too concentrated on why I was writing, and like I felt like I was writing to continue. Do you know, like whenever if you do something like imposter syndrome, and you feel like that was a fluke, and now I need to match it, and then keep on. And I just hated that feeling. And then I asked my girlfriend, I was like, can you just give me something to write about, just for like a joke? And then she would give me one word, and I would write a song to it. And then it started as a joke, and then by the time I'd finished the song, like, so in a day, she expected me to write maybe like a verse, and then at the end of her working day, I would be like, here's a song, and send her the full produced and mixed thing. And then after like about a week or two, I was like, oh, I've got enough music here to release like an EP or something. And it was all different. It was all like very strange country, and I had so much fun. And I was like, this is just not me. That's hilarious. And so yeah, I just kept doing that and kept writing. But there's periods, like definitely during the summer I don't write, and I think it's just I'm doing other things. I don't really want to sit in a room and write. I want to go outside.
So, if you guys wanted to say something to the audience, if you're actually watching this, thank you for watching it, by the way, and you hope that you would be able to instill something in them of hope, what would you say? What would be something that you'd want to say?
Thank you. I'd say don't give up, even though there may be periods of doubt, confusion, a lull. That's natural. Sometimes maybe it's not brought on by a pandemic or anything as serious as that. It could be just lack of motivation, too much going on in life. Life does get in the way, and sometimes it happens for a reason. So let it pass and let it come naturally. If it doesn't come naturally, just sit back and wait till it does, would be my advice, if it's a creative thing. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Good. Excellent. Sam?
Do it for yourself is what helped me. Whenever the pandemic hit, whenever I was focusing on the world and all this, it was just too much. And then whenever I just shrunk my world to be like my little support circle, it didn't seem as bad. So yeah, just do what you enjoy. Like, I just think one of the things I realized is whenever I was writing songs and I was like, I'm writing songs for numbers on a screen, why do I feel bad? And then I realized that I was writing songs for numbers on a screen.
I actually strongly agree with that.
It's
That's
just
exactly
such a funny thing that we do.
That's what the pandemic did, though. It did shrink
Yeah.
It did shrink us all down to no competition, no, checking out what other people were doing as much. It was just, this is your world here.
And you realise how silly it is.
Yeah.
Like, musicians write songs, and then depending on a number on a screen, you're like, I'm very good or I'm very bad. I like myself or I dislike myself. So yeah,
you only had yourself then in that
So
period
just-
of time, which was really refreshing.
like the best thing to have hope is to literally just focus on what you're doing, and if it's bringing you fun and enjoyment, it doesn't matter if fun and enjoyment leads to anything or nothing. Just allow the fun and enjoyment to be the thing.
The top. Well, look, again, it's only a short little piece of looking into each of our lives. Hopefully listeners aren't too depressed by it, but actually can take away some good out of it. And again, I want to thank you two particularly for being part of this last little journey. And I wish you success, honestly. How you chart it, as you say, obstacles will come, but they are the things that make us, you know. And so here's to bigger, greater, much brighter, happier days for us all.
Early this morning, I looked at the sun. It melted the frost on my heart. I know I'm not evil or cruel to the world. I've just had it rough from the start. I met with a man born with no soul. He taught me of old wicked ways. Stay alive but not living, and take without giving. You'll find yourself loving each day. You know I don't hate you, degrade or berate you. There's times when you fall out of touch. Don't let it get twisted. I'm not out for blood. I just don't seem to like you that much. There's times I remember just how bad it got. Waking up feeling so low. I tried to forgive, but I'll never forget your words that would pull me below. I hope there's a future away from the past, a blank page waiting for me. It's a long road to nowhere, but I know how I'll get there. Walk and I'll follow my feet. You know I don't hate you, degrade or berate you. There's times when you fall out of touch. Don't let it get twisted. I'm not out for blood. I just don't seem to like you that much. I just don't seem to like you that much. You know I don't hate you, the great orchestrator. There's times when you fall out of touch. Don't let it get twisted. I'm not out for blood. I just don't seem to like you that much. I just don't seem to like you